Not just a sponsor of your team, but also a fan.
Phones you want, service you deserve. Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer.
Well, John, a day after, have you had a chance to maybe reflect on this year and maybe have some thoughts on maybe what your guys were able to do?
Well, I think it's a time for reflection, but I don't think the thoughts don't change. I mean, we knew last night what they did, their efforts, the last two games playing shorthanded like they did against a very significant team was just sort of verification of the kind of year that they had, that they produced that they worked at. So, it doesn't take much reflection on this kind of year. There's nothing really bad to reflect. Like I told him after the game last night, the only reason you have to be upset is just the emotion of losing a game. There's nothing else.
Would you say you're proud of them?
For sure, absolutely. They've had a tremendous season for a young team. A young team now, and again, I keep reiterating it, but the leadership core and Christopher and D'Amico, they'd be men amongst men right now in hockey, and so they really did a great job of taking the team along with Willie by the bootstraps and pulling them along with them.
I mean, we sure hoped it would be successful, but it's been beyond any of our expectations. I think the guys have done a great job. The entire coaching staff has been so good, and the players have bought in. It's been a really good year for us. Well, when we brought John in, and then we were lucky enough to have Dave Struch and Darren McKechnie join him, and Robbie Montaigne come back, and those guys just they gelled as a unit, as a coaching staff, and they brought, I think, fun back in for these players. They taught them, and they allowed them to go out and play and to experience and to fail and go back out and succeed. And the players just love these coaches, and you can tell they go out and they play hard, and they play strong, they play fast, and it's just been great to watch.
We had initiated a plan back then of going ahead, so the expectation was that probably from the outside people and from within the organization, it was an all right team. Had a chance to stay in a playoff battle. That sort of was that initial thing. I think it changed fairly quickly as after the first couple of games against Brandon, we started to play, and we could know that we were competitive, that we should be able to keep that that goal in mind. And then we had trouble scoring, but we started to play a little better, and then of course the West Coast trip just really kicked us into high gear.
What happens this summer for you?
Work. I mean, there's lots to do. There's lots to do for the next 2 or 3 weeks here, and then our spring camp, and we have league meetings in Vancouver for a couple of days. There's the NHL draft, there's our European draft, then it's probably slow down for a month, and it's August, and we're 3 weeks from camp, and there'll be a couple of things I'll go to, probably like the under-17 camp, where I'm sure Sam will be invited to, and maybe the World Juniors for a day just to see those different players and stuff. So there'll be some downtime, but it's not downtime right now, that much I know.